Hey guys, welcome back to AlgoYogi. We are doing array and hashing series. Our next problem in the list is redistribute characters to make all strings equal. So let's go to LeetCode. There you go. So you are given an array of strings called words, which is 0 index. In one operation, pick two distinct indices, I and j, where words at the ith position is a non-empty string, and move any characters from words I to any position in words j. Now return true if you can make every string in words equal using any number of operations, and false otherwise. So basically they're asking, is it possible to make all the strings in words, which is an array of strings, is it possible to make all the strings equal, and that too they have to be non-empty. You can't just move all the characters from one string to another. All right, so let's see what we need to do and how we are going to do it. So these are the words. I've taken the first example here. These are the words given to us. Now an operation is defined as choose ith word. Let's say this is ith word and this is jth word, and then in one operation you can move any character, let's say this character, and move it to another string to any position. Let's say instead of choosing the first one as ith, I'll choose this one as ith, and then let's choose this a and move it to the beginning of third string. So if I move that, then I will turn this third string to a, b, and c, and this will become we will get rid of this a from here. So now if you see, all the strings have become equal now. So we can return true. All right. But what is the brute force way of doing this? This is good to understand what we need to do, but you can't just like translate that same logic into code directly, because there are simpler ways of doing that. Since our objective is to make, forget about the operations. If you think about operations and going to all these strings, you don't even know like what string actually you're targeting to make all the strings like similar to that string. You don't know what is your target string that you're trying to equate all these strings, So that is why what we're going to do is we're going to apply the logic that the objective here is to make all the strings equal. If we want to make all the strings equals, that means that, let's say the size of the word right here is 3, size of the words array is 3, then we need to have 3 characters of all the characters that are present here. Basically, the frequency of each character that I'm going to see in the entire array, I'm going to combine all of these strings and I'm going to count if all the characters are present and their frequencies are equal to 3, because that is the size of word. And the reason is that if I have 3 frequency of A's and 3 frequency of B's and 3 frequency of C's, then I can make 3 words. By taking, okay, I'm going to take one of each and I'm going to make A, B, C. So now these are left basically 2A, 2B, 2C. Then I'm going to take one more time, and I'm going to make A, B, C, and then once more A, B, C. So I have utilized all 3 A's, 1, 2, and 3, all 3 B's, 1, 2, and 3, and all 3 C's, 1, 2, and 3. And I'm going to place all of them at their positions basically in my array, because the size of the array is 3. So that is why now, since, and by the way, these I have collected by combining all of them and counting the frequency of each characters. All right, and if the frequency of each character that was present in our array was equal to the size of our array, then I could place that character into all these strings. The position doesn't matter. We can use that operation to place our characters, move them around. But finally we were able to basically A, B, C, ABC, and ABC. So this is what we could create only if all the characters was present and the number of each character was equal to the size of the words. So I think that was really simple. So what we will do is, in order to do that, we will basically just count the frequencies, right? Count the frequencies. So what I'll do is I will create a map. I'll call it char map, and then I will combine all these words. So they will combine into A, B, C, A, B, C, B, C. All right, this. And then I will just note down the frequencies of these by going through all this final string that I've just, combined. All right, so this is what we have now. Then I will go through this character map and then check if any value mode size equals to anything, or maybe like not equals to 0, then I will return false. Otherwise I will return true. And I think you already know why I'm doing that. If the size to value gives anything but 0, that means the frequency here was not equal to the size. That is why it's not giving you 0. So then you can return false. You cannot make all the strings equal no matter how many operations you do, because the characters are not present as per to the size of the words. So the time complexity of this solution would be big of n, where n is basically, you can say, the size of words, and that too you can maybe say n into L, where L is the size of the longest string. Okay, just forget about it. And space is basically also n into L. Okay, n into L. So let's code up the solution. Really easy. All right, so we're gonna make char map here for, let's say, C in, let's join all the words. So I'll just say use the inbuilt function called join, and you join them by just providing the array here. So everything in words will be joined in together, and that is what we are iterating over. Now to my char map, and this C's frequency, I will basically do is char map dot get for C. If it is not present, get 0 and increment the frequency. Okay, so now I have incremented the frequencies. Now I'll go through this char map and check if any value, maybe there is one more thing, we can just get the length of the words into n, and then also check if n is equals to 1, that means there is only one string, and I don't have to do any operation on one string. I can just return true, right? I can just return true. I don't have to do anything on one string. One string is equal to itself, so you don't have to do any operation to move this around. Now I'll just finally basically I'll go over the char map values. So I can just say for keys and vals in the char map, or maybe I just need to do the, I don't care about the the keys. So if char map dot values, if any value, if values, and it's not just call it value, it's a value, it's one value, mod n, if this is not equals to 0, that means it is something, then you just return false. Otherwise you return true in the end, return true. All right, so that will be the entire code. Let's zoom out and test it on our examples. Great, so let's submit. Awesome, so let's write down the time and space complexity. Time complexity would be big of n. See, so here I'm going through all the words, but I'm saying n is the size of the word, but then let's choose the L as the longest string. All right, longest string. And same goes for the space complexity. Space complexity would be all the distinct characters. That's where we will be holding. So big of you can say at max in the entire string there could be like 26 if we're not talking about like all these special characters and all. So maybe 26. It could be, you can say it constant if we were only talking about these small case characters, but it could be worst case, let's say there were like multiple weird characters. You don't know, you could just write n into L. All right, so that's all. Now let's go back to AlgoYogi, mark this solved. See you guys later in the next problem. Bye bye.